Scripture says that, pray for those who persecute you. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake. There are a lot of people today, and we don't think about it in the United States because we're blessed. We truly are. I know people get upset over certain things. Oh, there's a war on Christmas. Starbucks didn't put whatever on a Christmas. I don't care what Starbucks does. I don't even like the coffee anyway, to be honest with you. But that's not a war on Christmas. We're being persecuted because somebody made fun. Well, if you can't take some being made fun of, then you're going to have a rough life. But there are Christians the world over who are suffering. And we need to pray for those people. We don't consider what's happening. There are people who are suffering in China right now for their religious faith. We hear about the Uyghurs, they're a Muslim population, they're suffering, and there should be people standing up for that. We should. Christians should. Others should, but there are Christians in China who are suffering also that we don't hear a lot about. North Korea, there are people who are suffering and dying today for their Christian faith. It happens all over the world. You've seen pictures of, when ISIS and them were at their height, taking Christians out and beheading them. The Coptic Christians in Egypt suffer quite a bit. Some of our friends in Ethiopia and all over the world, they're suffering for Christ. It's happening in the Philippines. It's happening all over the world. We need to be praying for God's people who are persecuted. We never know when it could be us. But one thing about persecution, you can't get rid of the church. When people think they're going to get rid of it by persecuting, actually the church grew when it was persecuted. That's when it really grew. But we do need to be praying for those folks that God would strengthen them, that God's grace and peace might be with them. We get all upset about these small, little, insignificant things when there are people who are truly, really suffering for Jesus Christ all over the world and actually dying for Christ. So we need to pray for them and pray that God would be with them this day and always.